What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo, and in today's video we are going to be diving into the Tate McRae album, I Used to Think I Could Fly. I recently checked out Greedy and X's, and I've come to the determination that I like Tate McRae a lot. I feel like there's this like resurgence of early 2000s like pop that just flows through her so effortlessly in those two tracks that I heard. So I figured since we're gonna do the full album reaction to her new album when it drops, we should do the album I haven't heard yet. So I Used to Think I Could Fly. Before we get into this, I do all of my album reactions as full uncut album listening parties. So I press record, we react to the whole album, we talk about all this stuff. I stop the recording and I put all that on Patreon. YouTube always gets the edited version, obviously a little bit more like, you know, for copyright and pacing and things like that. But if you are interested in actually like reacting to the full album, like every second of it, go check out Patreon. Links in the description. Super cheap to sign up, completely supports this page because YouTube obviously not monetized. So all that out of the way, I'm excited. And like I said, we're going to be doing her new album as well. So make sure you guys like and subscribe so that you guys don't miss that when it comes out. I'm ready to just kind of dive into this thing. I've had X's stuck in my head since I heard it. So that's all I gotta say. All right, this first track is Question Mark.
You lose friends. You're suddenly scared of things that you were literally never scared of before. And when I was younger, like, I used to think I could fly.
Right away, I like this as an intro. Short, sweet, but it already sets kind of the tone of this, just this idea that when you're younger, you kind of have all this hope, this optimism about everything, and you kind of have these like crazy ideas in your mind. But then as you get older, like reality kind of sets in, and then you think back to like, wow, when I was young, I really thought I could fly, and now I'm over here just like in an existential crisis 24/7. Okay, this is Don't Come Back. Damn, the tone of her voice is so cool.
If I'm not enough for you, honestly, I hope you don't come back when you see that I'm better off, when you all broke down and you're missing back.
Oh, I fucking, okay. I knew I was going to be a fan of this already because of the two tracks I listened to before. But when I say that she has this like resurgence of like this early 2000s pop, it's because pop was like really influenced with like hip hop and R&B at the time. So you got these pop artists that had these like, you know, almost like regular pop sound, but then their vocals would almost have a little bit of an R&B influence to them. And then the drums and like the instrumentals would have that same kind of feel. And I love how much she loves that. Okay, let's go. Come on. So good. Those synthesizers back there, dude. And one thing I really love is because her vocal style is so cool, it's got this like characteristic to it where it almost kind of feels like what she sounds like when she talks, I imagine, but like then with melody. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of it. And these instrumentals are just so good. I just feel like I want to fucking, this is such a great era for music, by the way. Like the early 2000s pop, I will die on that hill. Like what an amazing time for some of those albums that came out. Classic. Hey. Okay, I'm into this because it is that breakup track. It's not even a breakup track like, oh, we're gonna break up or this is gonna happen to you. No, I think she's just straight up saying like, okay, I see what you're doing right here. You're trying to lie to me. You're trying to not be honest about what's going on in the situation, what's going on in our relationship. And so I'm just going to let you know that like when this is over and then you finally realize you fucked up, I'm asking you to please do not come around me ever again. And you've definitely had those relationships, right? Where you have somebody and you think they're like so cool, but then like the longer that you're with them, the more like you kind of realize like, fuck this. I don't even like this person now that I'm starting to see who they really are. So when they realize they fucked up, now that they've broken my heart, I don't care. Go fuck yourself. So this is I'm So Gone.
Won't say shit. Don't be calling my name when I'm so gone. I hope that you hate it.
Ooh.
Never left your dad's basement.
Love the entire theme of this, right? This is exactly what I imagine with younger relationships, like getting out of high school or like, you know, maybe you're in college and you're with somebody, but then they don't seem to really have any momentum to move forward, like not leaving their dad's basements, not really like moving on with their life. So when you follow your dream And now they're kind of like seeing all that. It's like, you're not going to get a piece of this. Like, I'm so out of here. Like, I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm going to like use this motivation and momentum to do what I want with my life. But like, what am I really leaving behind? Because you're not trying to do anything.
Funny how you say that after pushing me away.
Woo!
To go ahead
Hey!
and get wasted. Make your life a won't say shit. Don't be calling my name when I'm so gone. I hope that you hate
It's such a good melody right
it.
there.
Left it that-
So this is the other thing too, like, you know, talk about that first verse. I still feel that same way, like just the idea of somebody not even like moving forward. And it feels the same way even with this. It's like they had a relationship. Maybe that person wasn't very good to Tate. Now Tate's gone on and become this person and, you know, really following her dreams. And this other person's like, I miss you. I'm lonely. But like Tate's like, nah, fuck you. Like I'm over it now. Like we've had enough time. You're just a little too late for this.
After always leaving me confused, just cut me off like you said you want to. Go ahead and get
Ooh,
wasted.
everything she does is so
Make your life a
catchy.
won't say shit.
That's what I've noticed. I've only heard a handful of songs from her, but they're all so catchy. The melodies and the hooks are just written so well. I just like, I love pop music so much. Like I know that like a lot of people that love pop music love pop, but for some reason there's like an entire like existence of people that they will just shit on anything if it's labeled pop music, which sucks, right? But whatever. I mean, I guess everybody does their own thing. My thing about pop music that I love is like, even when it's sad, even when it's happy, even if it's, you know, about death or about life or living your potential, it doesn't matter. It's all, even if you're sad, you connect and it uplifts you. And pop music does that. I want a catchy hook. I want to almost be able to sing the words by the end of the song. I don't think that people should discredit pop music in the way that they do. If you're so great at music, why don't you make pop music then? Like, I feel like people are always shitting on it, but it cannot be easy to make banger after banger. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like in a studio. You get a chance to make 13 tracks on an album and it's got to be banger after banger. Like, how fucking hard is that? Okay, this next track is What Would You Do?
Say you know more than I do.
That palm mute acoustic.
Would you never understand? Really sick of how sorry sounds coming right out your mouth.
Oh, I love that. I'm getting really sick of how sorry sounds coming out of your mouth. That is like such a good, like if you had an AOL instant messenger and you wanted an away message, that's a good one.
What you do
Oh,
if I leave
wait, what?
and don't come back? I hope it breaks you in two.
Wait, this is so sick.
If I get back all the pain that
Wait, this is sick. Okay, it's almost like if the 80s made a modern, like, pop punk track. Like, I feel like it's got a lot of 80s influence in it. I don't know if it's just because the instrumental kind of feels like it's synthesizer based with that acoustic guitar as well, but I love that so much. And Tate sounds super cool here. This is not a sound I was expecting on here.
yeah, used to be a nice girl. I bet you wish it lasted. I'm getting
Woo! I love this little like pre-chorus moment.
sorry, son, if I leave and don't come back.
Woo!
It breaks you in two.
Okay, I'm actually really stoked that this sound has become so like kind of normal in a lot of pop music right now. I think there was like this thing that kind of happened in like I want to say it was like MGK. I feel like Olivia Rodrigo, MGK, Avril Lavigne. I feel like there was like this Black Bear did one, as somebody was telling me. There's like this influx of this like alternative sound, like pop punk coming back, right? And I like that it's so like ingrained in pop music's DNA right now. Like it has made its way there, which is fucking awesome for anybody that grew up loving that sound. And I love it because like Tate is doing it right here and it's so sick. And I like wasn't expecting to hear it on here. But again, what I feel like a very like pop centric feel in the music, pop punk is here. So sick. You know what else I like about this too? This feels like, let's say Olivia Rodrigo were to do this sound. She does, obviously, but with more focus on the like alternative rock side of it, right? This is what it feels like if you do this sound and you put a little bit more pop focus on it. And I love that. I like Tate's vocals do this a lot. They feel still pop centric because of the range that she's singing in, but because you have that upbeat kind of feel like that, you get those pop punk and like alt rock kind of feels. And this is really fucking sick. I really like this. I'm glad that it's got 73 million plays. Other people fucking enjoyed it too. And it's sick. Okay. This next track is Chaotic.
And I can't stand my friends right now, we got nothing in common. But being lonely's worse than just having friends that don't care.
Damn, this kind of already gives me the same vibe of like starting out with question mark, just kind of talking about being younger and kind of growing up and what that really does to the world. And these first couple lines are already giving me that same feeling. It's kind of like, well, can I really go through life just pretending that I'm happy? And can I really go through life pretending that I'm close with these people that I'm not? Like, can I keep doing this? Is it really beneficial for me in the long run to keep kind of like putting myself in these different situations? Oh, I love that vocal effect they're doing. Fuck. Oh. Okay, you know what it is? I'm a big fan of Banks. I think you guys know that because I discovered her while I was reacting to stuff. I'm a really big fan of Banks. Banks does the same thing where she'll hit a vocal layer and then she'll do a couple other layers, but some of those layers will have a little bit of an effect on them. And I love that because it really takes the vocal and it does this. It's like the vocal is the presence. And then as it's the presence, it also becomes a piece of the instrumental. So you kind of get this like, it's fucking sick, right? So I just want to take that back a little bit. I love it.
Could ever make me this desperate.
Right here.
Don't think I'll do that again.
Oh my God. Literally, one more time.
Looks like desperate. Don't think I'll do that again. Fooling myself thinking that I'll never love again. Goddamn, I felt it. I really felt it. Maybe
oh my God. Let's fucking go. I'm obsessed with so many things about this song. First, I love the lyricism of this. It takes on two things. One, growing up in general and maybe growing up from a relationship. It kind of felt like maybe that second verse had a little bit to do with that. But more so just, I do feel like growing up can be very chaotic because it almost feels like just a giant train wreck, right? It's like everything you think you know when you're a kid is literally gone the older that you get. Like your friends, the world that you know, the way that you see the world. It's so weird how our brains change so much in just a few years. But at that time, a lot changes. You go through a lot of stages and you become you just become a very different person. And that can be very difficult. It can be a very like overwhelming thing. And you don't really notice it's happening until you're on the other side of it. And then you go, oh fuck, I haven't talked to these people in 10 years. Like I haven't done this, I haven't done that. What I really love about this sonically, again, those vocal layers, so good. I love the little enhancements, the little effects that are used. I just feel like that, to me, I've never been one to be like, oh, don't do things to the voice. Dude, I'm like a huge fan of auto-tune. Like, not even, I love Lil Wayne, I love T-Pain, obviously, you know where I'm going with that. So when I think about instrumentation and I think about really cool like production and stuff, I love shit like this. Like have somebody who, like Tate is such a great vocalist, but then also layer her a little bit and then give her some effects that really like bring that instrumental into the vocal pattern because it's so fucking sick. You get beautiful moments like I rewinded a million times here. I'm a fan of the song. This is probably my favorite song I've heard so far on here. It's so good. Okay, Hate Myself.
I was so caught up in my own thoughts. Don't think that I understood.
Damn.
When you got close.
Oh.
After I just put you right through hell. You couldn't hate me more than I hate myself.
Oh, fuck. Hey. Can we just like give it up? These last two tracks have had a very big ballad sense to them, especially this track. And Tate really shines in these ballads because she's such a great singer and her voice just like carries that like very personal emotion. This is sick.
Sometimes when I care, I think I tend to shut off. Like nothing can matter enough. I hate myself. I'd always act so selfish and shit I hadn't dealt with.
Before we get into this bridge right here, I'm like, I love Tate's emotional peace. I think sometimes whenever you hear, like, all I've ever heard from her until this are just like pop bangers, right? Including, you know, a lot of these tracks. And then you get to Chaotic and Hate Myself, and we strip the instrumentals back a little bit, nothing like crazy, but enough to, like, you know, it's not just like shake your ass, but it's like, yo, let me see your soul for a second. Come here. Let me talk to you. Let me be your shoulder to cry on for a second. And both these tracks, I feel like, really let you just feel what Tate is bringing vocally, because that emotional component to those vocals, she's got a range that I just can't wait to see kind of like what we get out of that, because it's fucking awesome.
I'm the one who's fucked in the end.
Woo!
'Cause baby, you'll be happier with someone else. So I'll forgo to hurt you again. You couldn't hate me more than I hate myself.
Oh man. Woo! That delivery with Tate's voice is everything. I love this song because sometimes when you're in the moment of ending a relationship, maybe you don't realize what you have, or maybe you are doing something that you think is right, but it's really not. Maybe you're not really, I don't know. This happens. We make some dumb decisions sometimes as humans. And Tate's just saying, like, right here, like, after everything that happened and you trying to like push for me and me pulling away from you, I know that, like, you don't love me anymore and that you're probably very angry and you hate me, but like, I regret what I've done and I hate myself so much for how I made you feel. And that's a really hard place to be in. And you can hear that vulnerability and emotion through Tate in these vocals. I like ballads from Tate. I think it's just because I wasn't really expecting them. So yeah, I'm a fan. Okay, this is What's Your Problem?
When you knew that I was lost.
Yes.
What's your problem? I'm crying on the floor. I should've known when my mom said she don't like you. Should've took that as a sign.
Hey.
Thought I got you smiling, done like that. What's your problem? You think
Ooh.
that you're a god. You came and fucked my life up when you knew that I was lost.
Dude, this is just produced so well, and I think I could listen to Tate sing forever, even with a track like this. Like, it's really like serious. It's kind of like, I cared a lot about you, and like the things that you've put me through in this relationship, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this isn't something that normal people do to other people. I should have known when my parents could see the red flags in you, but I couldn't. I just kept going because you just seemed so real and true and pure, and, you know, you were doing all these things for me. Fuck you.
Tried to make me more like you and less like me. You're saying things I won't repeat. This petty shit only you do.
Honestly, I want all of you that have been, because we've all had one relationship for sure, maybe more, one that was like this. Just turn this song on anytime you ever think back to that person, because it's going to make you realize, like, I'm not saying that every person's always the best in every relationship, right? Like, everybody fucks up, but like, you've definitely been in a relationship where like you were doing everything right that you could possibly, you were trying, you were doing all these things, but you know damn well the person that you were with was not a good person, but you just couldn't see it. You thought, I could do this. I could fix them. I could do whatever I need to do and everything will be fine. And in the reality, you end up like Tate did, because I've been there and you've been there and they've been there.
Cause that shit gives you high. What's your problem? You think that you're a guy.
It's so good.
You came and fucked my life up when you knew
Woo!
that I was lost.
I think another thing too is I just love the range she sings in so much. Like, that is very much like I'll go to that anytime an artist sings in that range. I don't care if it's male, female, whatever. I don't care what genre it is. I don't care any of those things. I will absolutely go to that range every time because of growing up listening to Pennywise. I feel like it's Pennywise, it's AFI, all these bands, well, a lot of pop punk bands too. They fucking made me just like inherently love that sound. Tate is a fucking mood all the way through. This song, again, this song's sad, right? This is a recollection and like introspective moment of realizing that this relationship that you were in was fucked because the person that you were with was fucked. It wasn't your fault. And I feel like even in a song that's addressing seriousness like that and the kind of shit you had to go through, dude, when that chorus dropped, I'm shaking my ass. I'm right there with you. Fuck that person that made you feel that way. But also, like, yeah, we aren't ever feeling like that again. It's fucking sick. Okay, that's all I want to be. Ooh, I heard the little piece of that transition right there. That guitar work.
Leave an ugly scar. If you say she's not a thing to worry about. Oh, big boy making me so sad.
What?
Didn't think you could change this fast. She's got everything that I don't have. How could I ever
Oh my God.
that? I know you go and change your mind one day. Wake up and be bored.
Wait, this is the same thing that I was saying with, was it What Would You Do? I think it was What Would You Do? It's got the exact same thing where I said like some artists will dive right into like more of the alternative side of this, whereas Tate leans in on the pop side of it, and it creates a very cool sound. I love the song so much. Honestly, like that palm mute is so sick, and then it gets very melodic and it breaks into almost like a classic rock kind of like moment setting up that chorus, and then it goes back into just like that palm mute thing. I think that's really fucking sick, and I didn't realize. So this is the most streamed song on Tate's track list here, and it's really interesting because this is not a sound that I would have attributed to her based on the handful of singles that I've listened to recently. So I don't know if at this time she was also messing around with different styles just to kind of see where she would want to be. But I'm very interested, once we get through this album, I'm very interested in to hear what the next album sounds like, because I want to hear like what she decided to hone in on. It's going to be sick.
Be someone you've forgotten about. If you say she's
Woo!
not
I love that right
to
there.
worry about. I know you'll go and change your mind one day. Wake up and be bored with
This is so sick.
she's got everything that I don't have. How could I ever compete with that? I know you'll go and
Yeah, I'm so glad it came back one more time. It's just so catchy.
with mine. So I don't wanna be so bad.
Okay, this song, I get why it's the most streamed. It's so fucking sick. I love how catchy this is. The writing is incredible. The melodies are on point. Tate sounds incredible in the sound. Again, leaning on the pop side of this track is everything for this. And the song, look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how bad you know you are. It doesn't matter any of those things. If there's someone that you really love or there's something that you really want, it's hard sometimes not to have a little bit of envy. And it feels like in this case, Tate is just addressing the fact that she likes somebody who is looking for a specific type of girl. And maybe possibly even found that type of girl. And now Tate is like, man, I want to be with this person so much. And he or she likes this type of person so much that I need to be somebody else. I'm going to have to find a way to be somebody else to be able to get to this person that I want to be with. And it sucks, right? Like we all fucking know that you should never do that. But like the heart does what it does no matter how much motivational shit you listen to. So this next track is Boy X.
Broken. But boy X across the street, oh, he was one of a kind. Made her fall in love with only just a look in her eyes. And don't you dare make her feel like
Oh my God.
she's the only thing you see.
Wait, this is really fucking sad. So it's literally Tate telling this dude basically, hey, now that this isn't a thing anymore because of whatever you did to me, obviously, like he is a specific type of person, it seems that way. And Tate's just saying like, fine, like I just want you to not treat anyone else the way you've treated me. So don't do that thing with your eyes. Don't make me feel like I'm the most important person in the world, because obviously I'm not. So basically, don't lead me on and break my heart. Well, you did that. Don't do that to somebody else. Please.
No, she never saw it coming. Next time, boy X across the street, she never see him again. She really thought he was forever, then forever was dead too. And don't you dare make her feel like she's the only thing you see. No.
That right there is why I like her in these more like slower paced and like ballad style songs, is because she's just got the voice for it. So like to be able to start that note like in a little bit slower and then like bring it up and then go up to that high note. Like I love the runs that she has, and just the fact that her songs are so melodic that they really fit that.
She thought she found the world, but then the world found out she's weak. Guess that's okay. No, I just couldn't see. There's a billion of boys, but babe, there's only one of me.
Fuck yes. I am so glad she just ended it that way, because she said that entire last line about like didn't want the world to find out about me, but the world found out that I'm weak, all this stuff. And I love that she goes into this whole story about being treated a certain way by boy X. Well, guess what? There's like a million boy X's, right? But there's only one of me. So this entire song basically, you know, telling this dude, like, do not treat anyone else the way that you treated me. Don't ever do that to anyone. No one deserves to be treated like that. And also, you're never going to replace me. And by the end of it, realizing she's like, you know what? No, there's so many of boy X, aka every dude that's going to break your heart, right? There's so many of that like, I don't need to compromise myself for the sake of this one because there's others. I like that ends on a more positive note, because it is a very sad, just heavy song trying to go through all of the traumas that somebody put you through to try to warn them not to do that to somebody else because of the effect that it had on you. And I think Tate delivers this so beautifully. Again, when it comes to ballads like this, I just feel like I'm getting a chance to really listen to the vocals, really, you know, pay attention, because with pop, there's so much going on sometimes. And so it's so fun to be able to like hear this. I've also heard a lot of styles throughout this album that wasn't expecting. So I'm having a lot of fun just kind of like thinking about what comes next. Okay, this next track is You're So Cool.
Your exes one day said, don't you take
Oh, that bass.
issues. Blame 'em on everyone else.
Hey.
Every time I hear your name, your words make me sick. Oh, it's driving me insane that I'm not over it. And the way you control me, making up feelings you never felt. You
Like, everybody knows this person. Your friend group had one, or at least had one that nobody liked. Like, everybody knows this person. And I can't imagine dating a person like this, where their ego is just so high that their worldview of themselves is that they are essentially like God. And they feel like everything they do is the coolest. And they have this exclusive rare record you've never heard of. And you can't listen to those bands because you don't know 5 songs, so you can't buy that shirt. And, well, I would hang out with you, but, you know, my bros are coming over and I can't really, like, I don't want any women around. You know who I'm talking about. Like, every fucking person knows somebody like that like fucks everybody, but then treats everybody like shit. So, like, it sucks, right? And I like this kind of like call out vibe here. Like, you call me and you tell me that you're good even though I didn't ask. Like, that's what it looks like when people have a fat fucking ego.
oh, it's driving me insane that I'm not over it. I can't seem to get away from you. You're so fucking cool, so cool. Got a new girl, there's some new tattoos.
Hey!
So fucking cool.
I am obsessed with that song. Oh my God. I'll start right with the instrumental. That instrumental hooked me right away. It is so catchy. I love Tate's voice throughout this. I like that where she decided to like hit like the, like where she decided to use the cadence in the music is fucking amazing. It sounds sick. I love I definitely knew people like this. And I'm so glad that like Tate has a song just straight up calling out in a very sarcastic way, obviously, like, oh, you're so cool. Like, it's obviously sarcastic. And I just love how much attitude comes out through the verse. I'm shocked that the song has like less plays than like a lot of the songs, because the song is so fucking catchy and upbeat. I can't imagine like not listening to the song again. You know what I mean? Like, it is just so fucking, it's that good. It is that bitch. That's what I'm saying. All right. This is Feel Like Shit.
That song, I can't help but to think about us. This night for the very first time, you didn't even try to call. Oh, I all I do is so well. Really thought.
Man, Tate just like unlocked a memory I'm not going to go into, but also I really like that she kind of like puts you in the moment of something that you've experienced. Like, you're getting out of a relationship that you've been in a long time. You become very comfortable with that person, and like you feel fucking awful. Even if like things weren't working out, like you still just feel awful because even the absence of that person hurts, and it hurts every day when you're going through a breakup, right? But like there is this moment like when you hook up with somebody the first time after like not being with anybody else after being with somebody, and it is really strange how like people's hands feel foreign on you, right? And like all you can think of is this other person that you were with. And that's a very painful thing too, because it's not fair to the person that you're like hooking up with, but it's also like you can't help it. And like at some point that obviously goes away, and then you're just like in the moment. But that's not saying that like you don't like, you know, experience these things like, you know, loss and like breakup is like really fucking challenging mentally. That beat comes in so hard. Oh yeah. So that when that chorus comes in right there, it truly just like, it just shows you exactly what Tate's capable of. Like that chorus comes in and the emotion in the song has already been building. And then she says it, last night, for the first time, you didn't even try to call. So when you are going through a breakup, there's stages, right? You break up, but like you're still kind of talking, and then like, you know, it kind of fades off. And that was the first night that he didn't call her. And that kind of like torment that comes over, especially if you're like expecting somebody to keep trying, and then you start to realize like, oh, they didn't call me at all. So like this would be the first time we didn't talk. Like shit. Well, I'm going to go try to get my mind off of it. And I'm just going to think of you the whole time. And that fucking sucks. But Tate, again, with the emotion coming through. And when I say the melody of her voice, it's just like, she has like, obviously the range that she sings, and she has these runs, but there's this like very melodic component to her voice in general. So when you have the melody in her vocals with the melody of the song, it's everything to me. I love it. So this next track is Go Away.
Every time you look at me, it's never enough.
Kind of reminds me of Feel Like Shit. So obviously she's going through this thing. She's seeing this person and other people. She's trying to get over this person. And I feel like Go Away is the same thing. It's like Tate can't exist without seeing trigger moments that remind her of this person, and everywhere she goes, like, how do you get over something that you can't get away from? So she's just asking, like, just go away, like let your memory go away, let our whatever we have, let it all go away so that I can just fucking move forward. Super heavy bass in that. Oh wait, I thought it drops right there. Woo! So Tate is struggling to get over this person. Despite the things that happen in that relationship, it doesn't matter. She can't get over it because she can't stop seeing this person everywhere she goes. And then she's just trying to move on. But then at the same time, at the end, it's kind of like a, you know, go away. Just also, please don't forget me. Like almost like kind of hoping that you see her everywhere. And maybe you have to think about her, and maybe you have to miss her, and maybe it could one day be a thing again. But for now, Tate can't get over it because she just sees you and your memory everywhere. And that's really fucking challenging to get through. Love the vocal work in this so much. That chorus, I feel like she hits so many beautiful notes, so many runs, so melodic. Everything's so melodic from Tate. I love it. Okay, last track, I Still Say Goodnight.
That was the first sign that you were letting go.
I'm kind of feeling it from Feel Like Shit, right?
To be alone, I couldn't say much. I like you get when you're about to lie.
Oh, fuck.
I feel so stupid.
See, that's fucked up. This is the thing about relationships that people don't talk about. If you weren't the one that caused that breakup, it is so mentally taxing because you feel so vulnerable. Like in this moment right here, obviously she catches homeboy in a lie. He's got a lot of anxiety. Obviously he cheated or he's hiding something. And when you get to that position, that's fucking hard to navigate, right? But like Tate realizes that that relationship cannot be because this person has now like done the unthinkable, right? They did you can't come back, right? And despite that, and despite the person doing this to you, you somehow feel like it is like somehow your responsibility or like your fault. And in this, it's like, despite how shitty I feel, I'm still saying goodnight to you because I still fucking care about you, even though you treated me like shit. But just like I can feel like shit, it was the first night that you didn't try to call. It was the first night that you didn't say goodnight.
Ridiculous expectations. Much I was distracted. You seem so anxious, like it has something to hide.
I feel like there is a cohesiveness throughout this album, which I think it's got that theme just like in Question Mark, where it's just the idea of kind of growing up. But like, I think part of growing up is love and losing love and relationships and having your heart broken. These are all things that kind of like are part of growing up. It sucks. Got to go through it though, right? It's how you learn it. And I feel like Tate is giving us that here. It feels like while there are a couple moments in this that just kind of like hone in on the idea of just growing up, I think more so there was definitely a relationship that Tate was in that was very important to her that obviously did not end well, just based on a handful of these tracks. And I feel like this kind of seems to me very much like the mental state of what happens when you go through a breakup. I don't want you to come back. I'm out of here. Like I am done with this. Like for example, like in Chaotic, just like all of the chaos that comes from growing up and all of the things that kind of like are embodied because of that and the experiences that you're going to have. But then when you get to the, breakup tracks, right? When you get to the ones that are like introspective and kind of like realizing that you realize that like something, went through. And I feel like Boy X gives us a lot because it really kind of like breaks down these various things that this person put Tate through. But at the same time, when I think about like feel like shit, go away, and I still say goodnight, that is a triple stack of what I feel like is all about one person. I could totally be wrong, but it kind of feels that way. I feel like we were tapping into things and similar things. And I just feel like I love that there is a piece of cohesiveness through this. You don't always get that in every pop album. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I feel like Tate did a great job here. There are a lot of different genre styles here. And again, I think this is the first album she put out, the first full length. It might just be the first album in general. But I think with that, you do kind of do this, right? Because you don't really know what style people are going to love from you and also what style you're going to love doing the most. So why not try some stuff? So we got some pop rock and pop punk through here. We got some of those like classic dance pop sort of vibes that I love. A little bit of classic rock in here. But I got to say that like, as much as I just want to like jam the pop tracks all day and like dance and have a great time, Tate really shines in those ballads on this because I don't know enough about her. And so going into this album, I'm thinking it's just banger, 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 banger. And while the ballads are bangers, it's more than just that upbeat and instrumental to get you going. I kind of feel like in the ballads, I learned a lot about her. I got to notice like a lot of things with her voice that I really appreciate. Also just the fact that like it becomes a very vocal song. So that's really what you're focused on anyways. The lyricism is great, very relatable, things that I have gone through in my life, pretty much all of these things. And I feel like when you have those ballads, Tate is just the vulnerability is there. While I feel like it's like that in every lyric, I think when it comes to the ballad, that is just a different level of vulnerability. So I have a couple things to say. One, this album, absolute banger, start to finish. I love it. I love that it starts off with a little bit of talking from Tate, just kind of setting up the mood for the album. And then everything else after that delivers. I love that we've got a ballad, a fast track, a dance track, ballad, ballad, ballad. Like, I just think it was mixed and put together very well, even though the first half of this album, the songs are short. You guys know I'm typically like pretty not happy about that. I like a little bit longer of a song. I will say that these shorter songs didn't feel short. They were written in a way that felt like I heard the entire thing. Sometimes it just feels like songs kind of get taken off at the end. And that did not happen here. I think, let's see, if I had to pick my favorite tracks, I really liked What Would You Do? I really liked You're So Cool. I feel like that is just a banger. I love What's Your Problem? She's All I Want to Be is incredible. Feel Like Shit was so good. Okay, whatever. I like the fucking album. It's a good album. It's a great album. I'm excited that I listened to it because she's got a new album coming out in like at the end of the week, and I'm going to be doing a full album reaction, do a listening party over on Patreon. They always get the video first. And if I stay up late to do it when it comes out, sometimes they get it and then I go to bed. And then I wake up and edit it for YouTube. So if you guys are interested in not only listening to this album as a full uncut album listening party, which is already up on Patreon, links in the description, but her new one, when it drops, make sure you guys check out Patreon. Support the page. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to keep supporting Tate because this is a fucking great album. I feel like the influences are here. I feel like the vocals are on point. The lyrics are fucking great and relatable. We're having a great time. And I think that this is amazing, and it sets us up for Tate's new album, and I hope it does really fucking well for her because the 2 singles that are on it are so good. Like, hands down, gonna be some of the most streamed songs probably of like 2023 into 2024. I can already feel it because it's just catchy as fuck. Every song she writes is catchy as fuck. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section your top 3 tracks on this album, and what else you're excited to see from me and what I'm going to cover from Tate. So I love you. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.